here we are, definitely back in action, and more than that, we are actually in the draft. This is Digital Games of the Future, Mobile Legends. It's gonna be the Mongols going up against Team Falcons for game number 2 of this best of 3 series. Game 1 went in favor of the Mongols. Let's see if this will be the same result in game number 2.
Let's get it, man. Game 2 underway. Similar drafts. The Freya's still going out. Eve and Angela. They might just be going for the Baksha Pryho again. Unless this is going to be the last ban from Team Falcons. And that seems to be the case, which is actually fine. Maybe they go for the Lampu priority anyway. The fact that Baksha was banned out was a good move because I feel like, again, for the teams that like to play around the Baksha early pick or, utility junglers, it gives them that kind of upper hand to work with. And we saw them pretty much contest the objectives if they had to, especially the turtles and everything else. But now that we have this, what is this, Expanding Rivers? Expanding Rivers, right? Or
yeah,
this is, yes.
Yeah, that's just should be expanding.
I think that's expanding. I'm so used to seeing the little map, roulette thing. But yeah. Regardless,
it should be expanding.
Yeah, I think it is Expanding Rivers. So they go for the Lancelot actually for their first pick over here. So that's going to be interesting to see the shakeup between Zetsu's Baksha gameplay to now his Lancelot.
Ooh, okay. I wonder what they will pair this up with, because again, usually you pick up something like a CC to go with it. Falcons have shown us that they will be willing to first pick it. In fact, they did first pick it previously. That's a CC to go with the Uranus. Will not be surprised if at least one of those two will be the first priority here for Falcons. Apart from that, you want to take the Farce. Oh, they will pick both, apparently. All right, it's going to be the Hilda.
How do you feel about the Hilda? I know this has been banned out a couple times, yeah. Especially with the new blessing changes, right? I know we hit about this in the beginning of the day. Do you, as far as the roaming blessings, what was the biggest change there? Aside from, was it just the amount of golden XP you can get early on? Is that the biggest impact?
I guess it's it's like the splurge. If you're very active, you can get rewarded with a lot of EXP, a lot of levels essentially. But if you're not, then it will not be as rewarding. I think we saw that in the very first game of today. So there was that Grok that had the level advantage over the Cho for quite a bit because the Grok was more active in the map. But yeah, that's essentially what it does. What the Hilda also offers is flexibility for Falcons to have this Hilda as the rover or as the explained. It's also one way to pressure that Lancelot. However, Mongols are just way too smart about it. They pick up the Jushin to go with the Lapu-Lapu. I think the Jushin will be as effective in the previous game as this game. However, Falcons now, hopefully they will maximize the strength of this Farsa.
Yeah, the Farsa... Like I said, it wasn't bad in the previous game, and it's just unfortunate that it was a majority of the offense, the offense that they had, and maybe they changed things here because even in the sense, it's again, the CC gold lane wasn't the best. I feel like, so I think even for the Mongols, they're just going for a potential Harith gold lane here. If they decide to go that route, I don't know if they'll pick up the Moskov again, given how this is going to be a little bit more difficult to deal with, especially with a Hilda across from you plus the CC. So a little more pressure for Rinks to handle. So it'll be interesting to see what he decides to put in the gold lane. But Uranus is going to be banned out. Last one for the Mongols. What are they going to close in on? Knowing that you have your jungle already locked in, I'm wondering what Boyet will play. Even the Guinevere wasn't necessarily bad. Guinevere can do relatively well with a certain lineup. I just feel like that last lineup wasn't the best pick for it. You know what I mean? There probably could have been something better in Boyet's hero pool to bring out. So I'm wondering if even that's what the Mongols are thinking. Do they want to ban another potential jungler that Boyet, can't play against this Lancelot. Might be one of the cases here. Joy, I was gonna say Joy would have been the best option, right? So they ban it out.
Being said, I think they want to keep the flexibility of this Hilda. I think you're gonna pick an assassin here. So without the Joy, you're kind of left with just the Yisun Chain, which is technically not an assassin. Okay, they will pick up if they do pick up the Gatatkacha, this confirms a gold lane CC and they heal the XP lane. So you're gonna be prepared if you're the Mongols. Get snatch the Ruby so that without the export, the next best option there could be the Ruby. But you already have the Lapu-Lapu near XP lane. Anyways, you can go for a strong lane actually against the CC, something like a Granger or a Harith, but both of them suffer against the CC. Meanwhile, a Ruby will not suffer against the CC. So I think that will be a good choice. Hylos and Jushin are always a great combo because you have so much magic damage, you have a lot of stuns, you have a way to slow down your opponents. You just complement each other so well. And I think that it's a smart decision to pick up this Hylos. It will still be the Harith. Like I said, it's Harith before the nerfs kind of struggles against the CC gold lane, and literally after the nerf is bad. Now, this opens up, this makes the Hayabusa a good hero. Eventually, I think the Mongols have messed it up when they picked up the Harith, but we'll see. Maybe they have something planned out with this hero.
Yeah, it could also just be a combination of, in a way, like comfort. Again, even with the Harith change that happened here, it's like we see this pick up how many times from all the series today? Like Harith is still picked up a lot. You can definitely feel the quote unquote nerf though for the Harith. I feel like even when it comes to the team fightings, you got to be a little more picky on dropping down that Zaman Force and then being able to go ahead and fight. But yeah, we'll see if this is going to be a better one for Team Falcons. Also, the question mark that I was wondering about today when we went into this was like the Hayabusa. I think it was played on Stream B earlier today. Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But I wanted to see it here. And we get to see it in the hands of Boyet.
Oh. Hayabusa and Boyet. Like I said, Hayabusa would have been a bad pick, but it was now acceptable, way more acceptable, because the presence of the Harith on the opposite side, and it has a decent matchup against the Lancelot. But this mid lane, though, the Hylos hit the Jushin are making work mid lane and actually forced to revitalize.
Yeah, early on, that's always kind of what happens. We see this, that early pressure in the mid lane. That'll be an interesting matchup too, the Hilda versus the Lapu-Lapu. Again, for those that missed game one, it was Mumu's MVP performance on this Lapu-Lapu that really had a decisive win. And look at this early aggression already. Once again, the Mongols putting some pressure here on this side of the jungle, but no one relatively that you can just take out just yet. They're a little bit more tanky. Unless they're able to catch out Boyet later on. Unbreakable going to be charged up. They're going to go for Makey. Makey trying to get away here. Should be able to. A little bit of drag on Troll. But survives that mid lane initiation.
Yeah. As expected, this you want to play aggressively as your roamer. And you are more rewarded in that area. As you can see, Shenlin's already just a quarter of XP before level 3, which amplify his presence in the team fight later, especially in the turtle team fight. Troll is also level 2 just now, and expanding rivers will allow for any potential help from the gold laners. I would not be surprised if the Harith suddenly shows up, or even the CC. It's gonna be up to how quick the Mongols are when it comes to taking over. Turtle.
They're gonna flicker out. Yeah. You see in the way the Mongols like to move, if they can get a battle spell out, they're usually going to put the pressure there. We saw this a lot in the previous game too. Shenlin will tank this up. He doesn't have a Glorious Pathway, so he could be in trouble here. Sano's going to be able to get the kill, but it's Zetsu that gets the turtle. Now trying to survive this fight. They lose 2 so far. They didn't have that level 4s they were looking for, but Mumu, there's Rinks. He's joining the fight with the expanding rivers that you mentioned, Wolf, and Troll goes down. It's a double for Makey, so a bit of a trade the 2 for 2, the objective going over to the Mongols.
The Mongols did a really good job forcing the flicker out of Sanji, but I think that they overstayed during the turtle just because they started the turtle way too soon. That the Harith was a little bit late when it comes to that fight. The CC from Team Falcons was able to respond to the team fight way faster than his counterpart, the Harith, and actually net 2 kills for the team, but good recovery coming up from the Mongols. They might even take a kill onto Troll right now. Nah, it's AOG denying that one. Zetsu would have loved to get a recovery kill, but fortunately, it will not be the case.
Yeah, anytime you get out the AOG, though, at least, you know, at least for a bit, it's not going to be available to go ahead and start up a fight or be utilized that way. So they didn't have to expend too much either. I mean, it's just kind of setting things up. And you saw even with that Hylos, like now earlier on in the last fight, the last objective fight, they didn't have the Glorious Pathway just yet, you know, and so now that both sides have those ultimates available on both on all ends, the next turtle that comes up is going to be more of a even grounds. But like you mentioned too, with expanding rivers, you know, you'll get these gold laners there fairly quickly. And, you know, depending on how the fight's positioned with a Harith on your side, the Mongols might have a bit of an advantage. There's the shadow kill. Makey's going to be able to take a lot of that one. But that's used up. Beacon as well. So 2 ultimates used up. Feathered Airstrike too from Cuffin now. So Turtle's going to be up. I wonder if they'll just delay this until that Feathered Airstrike's up anyway.
They should, especially because they don't have the shadow kill, and Zetsu is already feeling confident taking over this turtle fight. They also have the Harith coming soon.
Oh, he's pretty low though too. He's got to be careful. Zetsu gets the turtle. Second one of the game. Troll's going to go ahead and defensively AOG on out of the fight. Revitalize was used, so I said the same thing in the last game, man. The Mongols has control over the objectives. They're really good at fighting around these objectives. I'm not sure if Boyet's going to force this fight. Feathered Airstrike after the shadow kill to follow through. Zetsu not going to be able to get away from Sano. Sano picking up a kill. Troll could be next. He does heal back up a little bit, but this is a great trade for Team Falcons. Able to get a couple kills off of it. So still trading, keeping things even here in terms of gold. Able to capitalize on that fight, and now might even get this turret up top unless Rinks is able to clear it out. But this is a 4-member of Team Falcons up on this top side. Mumu's going to join. They clear out that minion wave, but now Sanji has to flicker out, could be in trouble, get stunned, and there's a kill. A bit of a misplay from Team Falcons.
Yeah. Already a big recovery for Team Falcons after losing the second turtle. They were trailing by 1,000 gold, but they have gotten so much value out of the kills that they got up top. The kill of the
Sano
Zetsu.
died.
They tried to go for up top, but Sano died. The only hero from Team Falcons is having a good time. That's actually a shutdown, which is very important for the Mongols right now. And they did not lose their Harith. We kind of doubted this Harith pickup, mainly because of the nerfs and of course the Hayabusa making it good for the Hayabusa to be a good pick. But Riggs have more than paid up for it. I think that he's playing so well, 2-0 and 2, defended up top, punished with a kill onto Sanji, and now they got a kill onto Sano as well up top. This Harith has more than paid for his 4th pick, gold lane.
Yeah, he's working on his next item too. There you go. He gets his Stardom Scythe, so he's got that available to him. This next turtle is up, man. And Team Falcons really has not been able to secure themselves a turtle very well here. Boyet's going to be jumping in. Doesn't use the shadow kill. He does get stunned. Shenlin is the focus. They stun Boyet. He finally uses the shadow kill to stay alive a little bit longer, but he's going to be melted down now. And now joining the fight, Rinks dropping down the Zaman 4. Sano on the run, popping the Vengeance already, and Sanji trying to help him out. Shenlin does get killed off from the team and does go down, but Zetsu in position to take this turtle. Last one of the game. Team Falcons can't do anything about it with their jungler being down, so the Mongols will win that exchange again, further in the lead a little bit further.
Yeah. Although it was a 2-for-1 trade-off, we really have to commend how well Mumu as well as Shenlin are doing this game. They understood their task, which is to just make it so that the core heroes of Team Falcons are always pressured. And in this particular game, this particular objective, it was Boyet. They had to really put pressure on. Even when two of them died out there, it was a positive trade. And Zetsu not having the retribution during that moment still got the turtle because Boyet was killed anyways. And they have converted to another kill up top. This is the Mongols maximizing the lead that they have right now. And they are increasing and inflating when it comes to the gold.
This pressure they're putting here on the tier 2. Even cross map, able to push in a bit towards that turret, but nonetheless, you know, as they build up this bit of a cushion in terms of the gold lead that they have here, it's going to be increasingly more difficult for Team Falcons to just kind of look for that pickoff potential if they can, and kind of just have to go face to face in these fights. And that's been the troubling part, you know, when they decide to go ahead and team fight against the Mongols, it just seems like they're not able to get that break they're looking for. Yeah. And the Mongols is able to go ahead and sustain. And, you know, it's weird because it's like both sides have a revitalized. They both have, you know, some of these tankier heroes that they can use. But, you know, even for Sanji, for example, on this hill, though, it's like if he gets killed by himself up in the top lane like he did a couple minutes ago, you know, you lose some of that opportunity with this lineup to work. So they're just kind of managing what they can at this point. Holding on to these mid lane turrets are great for both sides, but this Lord's coming up, and some of these turrets are falling down. Tier 2 falls down now too. Makey popping the beacon. Oh, good play from Boyet using that shadow kill. Not sure if they want to stay longer here. Looks like they're going to force a fight anyway. Mumu jumps on the backside, forcing Boyet to quad shadow on out. They're going to force it, though. AOG dropped down, able to find two. Zetsu looking for his own angle to go into this fight. Punctures on through. Thorn Rose to follow. Sandal going to be in trouble as he falls next. And it's a fight. It's an exchange, and the Lord is up. What does Boyet do? He's down 2. They're going to work for the tier 1 turret. Feathered Airstrike going to be dropped down. They just want to clear out the wave to maintain the turret. And his buff is going to be taken here as Zetsu starts it up. Rinks starting up the Lord. They might just want to go for everything. Take the buffs, take the Lord.
Oh my goodness.
The Mongols are making a play, man.
Yep. Now the Jushin have respawned. There's nothing that Team Falcons could do. They had a great pickup onto Meiki, but the Mongols have found an opening. You can see how Zetsu just waited for the right moment, for the opportune moment to get into the Team Falcons lineup and find the right angle to assassinate Team Falcons. He did not just straight up went to the fight after the initiation coming up from Shen and Mumi, knowing that there is Troll that can actually take turn it around with the AOG. Right after AOG, he swung it around, waited for the punctures to be back off cooldown, and then that's where he was able to strike. Team Falcons could only do so much and just watch literally them getting sliced in half by Zetsu. And then the Mongols took the Lord afterwards very cleanly. I thought this game would be very close, but seems like the Mongols have found Team Falcons' number.
They have for now, but I think Team Falcons can still defend, clear this out. Glorious Pathway dropped down, trying to get the stun on Boyet. They do, but he's under the tier 2 turret, so he's going to be fine. And it's actually Meiki that gets in trouble, and AOG dropped down. They didn't get the tier 1 turret in the mid, so they're deciding to fight under it. Meanwhile, the Lord decides to go ahead, push that bottom side, gets a charge into this turret, but man, the Mongols might have misplayed that a little bit, getting caught out. Shield's going to be popped up top. Zensu going in, gets the Phantom Execution off Thorn Rose to stay alive, but won't be able to get away from the last Feathered Airstrike. Mumu jumping in. But man, it's the Mongols just kind of forcing what they can, but they get punished at the same time from Team Falcons.
It's the first Lord push of the game. And they have taken all but one of the other turns of Team Falcons. Technically a win for the Mongols, but I'm sure that Zetsu is going to be scratching his head over that one. To be fair, Coffin actually played that clash so well. The way that he kind of anticipated that Thorn Rose will be there, so he just managed his Feathered Airstrike procs greatly. Made sure that he was able to reserve one after the Thorn Rose was up. So the fact that he was able to start Zetsu as well.
Yeah, he's not going to survive that burst. It's starting to look like the Mongols is making their own mistakes, you know, and it started with that Lord push. They definitely could have waited a little bit longer, but they're going to find themselves giving over some space to work with the Team Falcons, and now Team Falcons has an opening themselves. They do still have work to do here. 20 seconds for that Lord to come up. So Rinks will be back for that fight. So the Mongols will have to get in position here. So this is probably one of the better opportunities that Team Falcons has had to do this. And Unbreakable is going to find Shenlin. Drops down the Glorious Pathway. Is actually able to survive too.
Wow.
Just barely. Oh, but Boyet kills Mumu. A key target to take before this Lord.
That's the big kill. Zetsu wants to get something up top, but he wants to go for Sanji. Quite an ambitious kill here.
He's putting pressure in. Phantom Execution already used. Boyet too. There's the AOG. He's able to sidestep it. There's the Thorn Rose. He's going to be going for Cuffin. Cuffin is still alive. Burning the flicker. A good try from the Mongols, from Zetsu, but without a jungler. Boyet's going to wait patiently. He's got a shadow kill available. Can the Mongols delay this Lord take? That was massive that Cuffin survived that.
There's this concept in Mobile Legends where if you make extra moves or unnecessary moves, basically, sometimes you suffer. I mean, for sure, if he got that kill onto Cuffin, he might have gotten alive, but it wasn't the case. The extra move that Zetsu did kind of lost them this particular Lord, and now Team Falcons are gaining up momentum. And we'll have Boyet to even get the steal on this purple buff. This is going to be massive for Boyet.
Yeah, dropping down the Glorious Pathway, too. It looks like Rinks got hit theirs, so Rinks actually took their purple buff, I believe. But yeah, with this, the Lord's going to be making its way down bot. Did he leave the little... Oh, he did. Yeah, he left a little purple minion for them, so they just traded basically purple buffs. But right now, it's Team Falcons getting these turrets they desperately needed in this game. Again, off of a overzealous push with that first Lord from the Mongols, now they're facing a defense here against this Lord as they look at some of the turrets fall down. Mid lane's getting some action here, though. Rink's going to be in trouble again. AOG. Boyet's actually going to be able to survive it. Mumu on the chase. Meanwhile, the rest of the team fighting is getting crashed down on Sana. Gets the stun, but won't be able to pick up the kill because he's got to support the team here. Troll going to be the next focus as he falls. A bit of a hectic fight in the mid lane that broke out, but Team Falcons got what they wanted.
I love the turn I used, hectic. It was actually very hectic there for Team Falcons. This was the Mongols. But the important kill is onto the Harith. And I think the Team Falcons wants to go for more plays out here. Smartly, the Mongols will just back out of that area. Of course, they don't know where exactly Team Falcons are, but they have kind of an inkling of where they are, so they will not force the issue. I think that we have gone back to an actual break-even between these two teams. Of course, Team Falcons are leading by a little bit of gold, but essentially this is an even game. Heading into the next Lord, the third Lord of the game. I'm surprised that both teams have managed to keep one of their 6 outer turrets intact as of this moment, but of course, that will not matter as much. It's going to be the Lord who will matter in the next literally the next minute.
Yeah, there's going to have to be some adjustments here on how the Mongols decides to deal with this because Team Falcons, the way they've approached the fights, I mean, even for Troll, like his Avatar of the Guardians have been really good lately. The last couple fights. And Boyet has been able to go ahead and pick off a target or two on this Hayabusa. So it's the Mongols with this kind of lineup that is actually trying to put this into play, trying to make this work. Glorious Pathway is going to be dropped down. I think Shenlin just goes in for the stun on Cuffin, forcing the wings by wings. Do they disengage from this? Boyet just waiting patiently for that team. If they do decide to overcommit to this, I think it's better that they don't. They're just going to go for a reset 10 seconds from this Lord to be up. Rinks' positioning crucial here. He does have a flicker, but he could get cut off. Again, this is a Avatar of the Guardian available to Troll if they decide to sandwich them in. But Lord is up, and with the expanding rivers, they should be able to go ahead and get in position quickly here.
Yeah. So the minions are pushing a little bit into the bottom lane. I think this will be a little bit of an advantage for the Mongols since it's the long lane, but gonna catch a fall. Of all heroes out here, the Roamer is the one to slow push the bottom lane. Team Falcons will be very happy about that.
Well, so they're going to go for the blitz. Boyet gets the information. It might come down to a retribution battle. Feathered airstrike going to be dropped down. Boyet gets the Lord. Secured. Rinks dropping down. Zaman Force. They find Asano and now Cuffin on the run. He's going to disengage. They know they already got the Lord. Rinks goes down. Boyet with a big pickup on the Lord, plus the kill. Zetsu falls, and now they can turn this around. Team Falcons looking for more. Shenlin leading the charge. They're going to be going for Sanji. Sanji trying to run away. Pops the flicker. He's fine. Boyet wants more. He could have the shadow kill available again. The lower cooldowns on this Hayabusa might work out as Mumu is the one to fall, and Team Falcons fought for this game. And with the Lord, they should be able to go ahead and push into the space of the Mongols. There's so much time for them to be up. They could potentially take this one to a game 3. Team Falcons knows it. They'll go in. Makey tries to defend, but shadow kill is huge, and Team Falcons will take the Mongols to game 3.
The first 3-game series that we'll see today, and it's off of a retribution battle. A very close game that we've seen. It was, the perfect term is hectic, dude. The term that you mentioned earlier on that perfectly describes what the team fights were. And even Team Falcons are feeling that after they have won, they're still discussing some of the key points in that game. And Team Falcons, off of the back of that retribution coming out from Boyet, and of course, massive outplays coming out from the far side that we've seen. Troll split pushing the bottom lane, forcing some reactions from the Mongols. A scrappy fight that went in favor of Team Falcons prompted the Mongols, the lesser experienced team in international events, to kind of panic and fight even when they are in a big disadvantage. They could